You're listening to Productivity Monsters in the Morning. We are the energy vault your real estate business needs to get you up and out and excited and productive for the day. We go over trending topics and things that really matter in the market of the moment. Here are your hosts, Tiffany Hampton and Brooke Silva.
Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
I'm missing my roommate. Put me in a double bed and it's empty.
How dare you travel without me?
I'm telling you. I'll tell you. Yesterday was a long day. A lot of travel.
Yeah, especially when you're by yourself and you don't have someone to entertain you.
Truth.
Right? See, you complain when I'm with you. You complain when I'm not with you.
I know. Yeah. And then I got home. I got to the hotel room last night and I just wanted to go to sleep, but it was only 6:00 and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, you can't go to sleep.
Yeah. And then I was up at 3:30.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would have been up at 3:30 with you too. My body wakes up at 4 normally.
Yep.
And I either force it back to sleep or I get up. It's one of two things.
Yep. Got Chris off to school today. Yay.
Oh,
No
that's
problem.
good. He didn't miss the bus.
He's like, yeah, I'm up. I was like, less words are more with that kid.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Well, you're in Texas for some fun stuff. You're at a coaching skills camp.
Yep. I'm in Texas. It's crazy. So I'm Texas through Friday. I'm in Connecticut Monday and Tuesday. I'm in Mass on Wednesday. Then the following week, I'm in Mass on Wednesday, Connecticut Thursday, Friday. And then the following week, I go back to Texas.
My goodness.
But then we're done, like December 2nd, 3rd. I
Yep.
think I go to Connecticut once and then we're done to the new year. And the Mass trips aren't that big a deal. It's one day. It's funny how our body gets used to things.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh my God, you travel so much. I'm like, but it's not where I live, I'm central. So like what takes other people 2.5 hours takes me an hour tops.
Yeah.
And sometimes they take public transit if it's into the city. Like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's just getting used to getting around. But what it does cause, and what our topic for today is, and one of the things you guys talk about down there is burnout. So we have fierce conversations coming to. I had the book with me. I don't know where I just threw it. Oh, here it is. So, Fierce Conversations is a book by Susan Scott, and I've read this a few times over. This is my newest copy because my other one was shredded, and I've read it and I listened to it on Audible, but one of the things she says in her book is burnout occurs because we're trying to solve the same problem over and over. Mm-hmm. So burnout occurs because we are trying to solve the same problem over and over. So I posted this on my Facebook this week on my business pages, and the responses I got were very interesting. Where some people are like, I feel this through and through, and other people are like, this was me, but I did the right things.
Yeah. Well, what does do the right things mean?
Well, I guess it depends on where you are in life. Some of it could be leverage. Sometimes it's the who, not the what.
Well, sometimes are you even trying to solve the right problem?
Well, that's the other thing is, at the end of the day, do you have a goal? Do you have a plan to get to that goal? Yeah. Last week, you helped me do probably the hardest 411 I've ever done because it was the most simple 411 we've ever done. And I kept overthinking and, it is the hardest thing to do when your goal is, I have a big goal, but I have the most simple big goal I've ever had.
Yep.
Man, was that hard to dig into and figure out. I was like, but I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. And it's really cool when you have an outsider looking in because they see things differently.
Right. Because I know how to get there. I don't know how to articulate how I'm going to get there to be accountable for it.
Right.
I needed your help, and Cassie's help when we were doing it before our wealth building event, because I know what I'm doing. I just could not. I'm so close to it that I couldn't get it out of my brain. And this is why a coach is so important.
Yeah. Well, when we talk about it all the time, if you're spending 15 minutes and you're struggling, walk away, Google friend, like call a friend. Call a friend is a thing.
Yep. And I think, this, and I was trying, I was going to give myself a few minutes, but I was just by the time I got to you, I'd been trying for like 45 minutes. And I knew I was overthinking it, and I just needed a fresh perspective on it. And you've done so many 411s. This is all newer to me, even though I've been with KW for a long time. I This is the region really was the first one to do 411s with me.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this is
and it's
third.
funny because life gets so much simpler when you use the tool, right? Like, and yes, I'm an overachiever, and I'm going to make this next statement. I have 5 GPSs because I'm running 5 different opportunities. They're not technically businesses,
No,
but they're opportunities. And each one of those opportunities needs its own GPS.
correct. I couldn't put all mine. You know how some that you break it out, business, personal, work.
Yeah, no.
I can't do that.
Well, it's the 7 circles. I mean, we're gonna go all over to 7 circles in the one thing.
Right.
You can't have one GPS for all 7 circles. Like each
Mm-hmm.
one of those circles has its own GPS, and the priority of the GPS change. Like my money priority GPS right now, that's 100% priority.
Mm-hmm.
That is, my health is 100% priority. The other 5, they're 50 to 70% priority. Like
Yep.
you can never not handle relationships and take care of the people.
Right.
But that's not the thing. The thing is when you're hyper focused on whatever it is you're looking to accomplish, are you singular in thought?
And that's what you helped me get down to. And that's one of those burnout things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The other thing is that stubbornness. You and I
You're
both
not
have it.
stubborn. You're not stubborn. No, not
No.
you.
But it's tenacity. It's not stubborn, it's tenacity. And it's one of those things is I think too, because we've been in a singular role for so long where we're the only people who could make the decisions and could solve the problems. Takes time to come down from that. But I will still give it my 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I will still try because I never want to go to someone and say, how do I do this? I want to always go to someone and say, hey, here are all the things I've tried and I still hit a wall. What do you recommend? Or do you have any ideas to help me go forward?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I think the burnout, there's so much to cover in burnout. Number one is, should it even be on your plate?
Right. If it's
Do you have the
burning you
right
out, does
people
it
in your
belong?
world? Like my burnout over the last 3 years came because my alignment with the people around me was not aligned. Like I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be here, and to get to where I wanted to be, I needed different people in my life.
Yep.
Not that any of those people, and this is, like,
That's
this
that
is
tribe.
where this is where the analyzing and the self thought and really journaling comes into play, because in the moment I had my feelings and emotions, and yet now that I'm out of it, I'm like, all those people they're all great.
Yeah.
They're all successful. They're all great in what they do. We're just not aligned.
Yeah, it's your tribes. We talk about tribes all the time.
So burnout comes when you're not in the right tribe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you have cheerleaders, or do you feel like you're running up a hill?
Right. In quicksand.
In high heels.
But you won't catch me in anymore.
Yeah, I don't do heels.
So think
I
about
went
it. If you're feeling burnt out, what is the one thing that gives you such high anxiety when you think about it, or you can't get the task done? Is the task important? Is it relevant? And if it's relevant, who can do it for you because you're not doing it?
Yeah. And just to like put a bow on this, there's so much that's going on in business. Like, right,
Correct.
we have all this stuff that's going on in business. I don't care what business trade you're in, there's stuff going on in your trade.
Everywhere.
And then there's all this stuff that's going on in your family. And then
Yep.
there's all the stuff that's going on in the world. And you're just trying, like, you're in this, I relate it to you're in a hole and you're trying to dig yourself up, and all this noise is the dirt falling down on you, right? And
Yep.
at the end of the day, I mean, journaling. I think the best thing I heard last night was Jordan Freed, who is an amazing coach,
Yes.
He said, if you were a podcast and your voice was the mic, what would that podcast be saying? I know, it was so deep. I was like, you know, and I look at raising kids, right? Like many of the people that we hang out with, they have kids.
Right.
And you have the struggle of you want them to do the right thing, and you're constantly having conversations with them about doing the right thing. And are you just asking a question and leaving it there? You know, the fights went away in my house when I just asked questions. And I think they hate me more now that I just ask questions, because I make them self-discover.
No.
And they're like, she's
Funny.
right without saying she's right.
It's
But
so
they're
funny.
self-discovering,
Mhm.
and hopefully less burnout.
Yeah. Less burnout. All right. Well, you have a great coaching skills camp.
I'm very excited. I'm going to be surrounded by people. I will bring lots of stuff back with me.
I cannot wait.
All right. See you later.
Bye.